All right, so we're going to take a look at creating the title block. We've got a set of instructions here for the title block. This title block may change from time to time, but the basics are going to stay the same. So what we want to do is we want to start a brand new drawing. Okay, and the best way to do that to ensure that we're using the correct template is we're going to go to the Start menu here, the Start tab. Click on the Start tab, and we're going to click on the split icon, the new, and we're going to click on the drop down. Click on the drop down. You should see acad.dwt. That's the template that we want to use. However, if you don't see that, we're going to click on Browse Templates. And with Browse Templates, we should see the the Select Template window. This is the system folder in Windows. And we're going to find the ACAD file and hit Open. And that's going to open up a blank file for us. Now, we're going to do this in a couple of different videos and a couple of different parts to kind of chunk it and piece it together in a little, so it's easier to learn. Now, I'm going to go down here to the OSNAPs. And I'm going to click here. This is the OSNAP button. It's F3. But I want to click on this little drop-down arrow and make sure that we have these OSNAPs turned on. These are the running OSNAPs. So we want to make sure endpoint, midpoint, and center, those are checked. We want to make sure that quadrant and intersection is checked. And also perpendicular and tangent. Once those are all checked, we're going to go back down and click on that little drop-down to close that window. Next, we're going to take a look at the layers. All right, so I'm going to click on Layer Properties. And this is probably compressed, but what you can do is you'll have these little breaks in between. And when your cursor, when your mouse turns into that double arrow, you can then move that arrow to kind of open things up. But this is what it looks like when you unscroll everything, if you will. All right, and we've got these little icons here to create or delete or to activate various layers. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the very first one, click on that, and that adds us a new layer. We're going to call that Object. Once I'm done typing, I'm going to left click, just kind of in the gray space here, and I'm going to keep it the same white color. I'm going to keep it continuous, but I'm going to change the line weight. So I'm going to click on the word default. And we're going to make this, I'm going to scroll down and make it 0.60 millimeters and click OK. So we just created our first layer. Currently the 0 layer is active, and we can tell that because of the green check mark. One thing to note is that you should never make changes to the 0 layer. The 0 layer should always stay there. Do not delete it. It's kind of part of the system. It needs to be there for AutoCAD to function properly. Okay. And so now that we got our first layer, we're going to create a second layer. And this one we're going to call Title Block. Left click once you're done typing. And the title block layer, I want to change the color. So I'm going to click on the actual box, the color box, not the word, but the color box. And that's going to open up the select color window. And I'm going to choose a blue. So maybe this 150 here. And click OK. It's going to stay continuous. The title block, however, is going to be a thinner line type, or line weight rather. So I'm going to click on line weight. And we're going to make this 0.3 and click OK. All right, we've got a couple more layers to make really quick. So I'm going to click on New Layer. And this one is going to be Border. We're going to keep it the same color. It's going to stay continuous. However, the line weight, we're going to make 0.80. Going to make it a lot thicker. Okay. So we've got 4 layers. One is kind of like the default layer, object layer, title block, and border. We're going to create a new one called VP. VP stands for viewport, and that's a special layer. The VP layer, we want to actually click on this little printer icon, and it's going to basically put a little red dot saying, no, we don't want this layer to print. So anything that's on the VP layer is not going to print. We also want to change the color. So I'm going to click on the color box, and we're going to make it index color 6, which is the magenta down here. So I'm going to click on the magenta color, click OK. It's going to stay continuous. And the line weight, we're going to change that to 0.30 and click OK. So this is about as far as we go in terms of creating the really basic set of layers. AutoCAD will remember all the settings that we've created here. So there's nothing to save. We just have to X out. And the way to confirm that you have the layers that you have is we're going to go up to the layers palette. And this little top section here, there's a drop down arrow. If we click in this section, you'll see that layers drop down and we can see the border layer, the object layer, the title block, and the VP layer. And you also notice that it does everything alphabetically. So all of the layers are here. And that gets us set up for the first part. Now, in order to see the layer information, when we start drawing, we want to make sure that we have the line weights quick access button operative. And that button is right down here in the corner. It looks like 3 lines. It's thick on the left side and thin on the right side. If you do not have this button, okay, you can turn it on, you can turn it off. If you do not have that button, I want you to go to the hamburger on the right. These 3 lines right here, this is the hamburger. You click on that and you should find line weights. Basically anything that is in this list will pop down into the quick access toolbar. Okay, so make sure you have line weights checked on. Click on the hamburger to close it, and then you can turn your line weight button on, and it'll be active for you. All right, the next video will cover drawing the basic outline, the basic shape of the title block.